have eyes on your back, cause you got money to the ceiling. And the bigger the cap, the bigger the feeling, the better I'm feeling. The more that I'm chilling, winning, drilling, and killing them. Who's that bucket naked cook, fixing 3-course meal? Getting goosebumps when a body taps the 6-inch heel. What in the world is in that room? What you got in that room? A couple of gaps, a couple of knives, couple of rats, a couple of wives. Now it's time to choose. I got my sweet block booty. Got back. And my homie. So drop that. And on 20. With the top back. So much money. You can't stop. Are you custom made, custom paid, or you just custom fitted? PlayStation 2 up in the ride. Is that Lorenzo Kidded? Is that your wife, your girlfriend, or just your main bitch? You take a pic while I'm rubbing the hips, touch the lips to the top of the dick, and then tell me who's your housekeeper and what you keep in your house. What about diamonds and gold? Is that what you keep in your mouth? What in the world is in that case? What you got in that case? Get up out my face, you couldn't relate. Wait to take place at a similar pace, so shake, shake, and go. I got my sweet block booty. Got back. And my homie. So drop that. And on 20. With the top back. So much money. You can't stop that. Sweet block booty. Got back. And my homie. So drop that. And on 20. With the top back. So much money. You can't stop that. Get out my business, my business. Stay the fuck up out my business. Cause these niggas all up in my shit and it's my business, my business. Stay the fuck up out my business. Cause it's mine, oh mine. My business, my business. Stay the fuck up out my business. Cause these niggas all up in my shit and it's my business, my business. Stay the fuck up out my business. Cause it's mine, oh mine.
Warning, the following show features constructive opinions performed either by professionals or under the supervision of professionals. The views expressed are ours and may differ from views of any other entity. Accordingly, the Tim Zabriskie Show and the producers must insist that no one recreate or reenact any conversation or activity performed on the show.
Can't finish the show in just one sitting? No problem. Listen to this and past episodes of The Tim Zabriskie Show on demand on all major podcasting networks, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and the iHeartRadio app. It's perfect for the ride home.
Share this podcast.
Seated up, he's standing up. Kid Mitch up top, shooting star pass.
Every time, Phil. It looks horrible, doesn't it? Look at this. Look at this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the camel is about to enter the room. And we're going to spin around.
Why, Phil? Because wrestling.
How have I not seen this yet?
It's a camel clutch, Phil. How awesome is that? All right, Phil. Phil, do we have time for a match, Phil? Do we?
Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Veda.
We started late. So we got to give the people a match. A full match, a lot of psychology. Here we go. Shawn Michaels, right away, Phil. Hits him. Duck 1, duck 2. Oh, huge flying Larry by the Heartbreak Kid. Gets up, and Phil, guess what? It's time for the finish. Phil, that's it. Bam! 1, 2, 3. They already got your money, Phil. Phil, that's the whole match in a nutshell. That's the main event of Monday Night Raw. And Phil, I gotta ask you, is this gonna be better than what's on TNT coming up in 2 months? That's what the big question is here, Phil. Look how pissed off he is. That's what the best part is.
Anybody else wonder what happened?
He's so pissed. The fans are like, what? The parents are like, what did I just pay for?
Right.
What's up, guys? Tim Zabriskie here, back at it again with the brand new vid. It's been a good little week here so far. We got Labor Day coming up this weekend. Yeah, everyone's got Monday off. Hopefully you have Monday off. With me as always, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. I don't know what are we doing here today, Phil? What are we calling you today? You called yourself something earlier. What was it?
I don't remember what I called myself earlier, but maybe I'm the presidential death machine.
The presidential death machine. Why is that, Phil?
I don't know. I've been hitting the gym lately. I've been feeling really good.
Well, look how good he looks here, everybody.
I've been losing some size.
He looks fantastic.
Decided to dress up for the occasion.
Yes, Mr. Phil Stamper. How are you, sir? How's it going?
I'm good. Trustin Phil, president of wrestling.
What are you wearing there? Are you peacocking a little bit? What's going on?
I feel good. I feel this is right.
What are you wearing?
I went out and I
stand up. Show the people.
Hold on. See, you tell me to stand up as I'm surrounded and encased in wires right now. Hold on.
Okay. He's wiry. He's wiry. Oh, what is he rocking here?
There's surprises to come, Tim. There's more things to come, Tim.
What is happening? Are you in full gimmick right now?
A little bit. I felt like I had to treat myself. I may have raided Sammy Callahan's closet. That's a whole other conversation. Feels right, Tim.
Interesting.
Feels right.
Very, very interesting, Phil. You're looking sharp. You're looking fantastic. I like the whole ensemble that you guys got going on.
I like it.
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for popping on to the Tim Zabriskie Show. If you're new here, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Basically, what Phil and I do is for all the wrestling pay-per-views that are happening, we like to call the winners and everything like that. And the last time that we met, and Phil, I don't even think I updated the graphic. What was the last card that we did, Phil? SummerSlam. See, I didn't even update the graphic, but Phil, I'll update it during the show and I'll play it. But it looks like you and I both tied for SummerSlam. So congratulations.
Congratulations to you, sir.
Yes. So the score actually right now, and I can update it right now if we want to. I mean, I'll just do a little delete ski there, right? We'll go like that. Well, I didn't lose this time, right? Well,
it's the wrong graphic, Tim.
I know, Phil.
It's not SummerSlam, Tim.
Phil, I got it. We'll just we'll keep the winner on. You know, I'll just do this later. Why don't we just get into the
I won. Look, I won. Totally me.
He totally won. So you got a 6 there, and Phil, because we tied, I gotta make it so that I'm still ahead of you. All right, I hate to break it to you, but basically what we do here is we call all the winners, and then we make our predictions for the show coming up. Now even though I have 1 point over Phil, 7-6 right now and everything like that, Phil could easily come back because me being in such a dunce, I did not do any prep for All Elite Wrestling All Out. So Phil, this may be the time for you to really come back and have a good win here. So, are you excited?
I am excited, Tim. It's all out.
It's all fucking out. Let's go.
Space Cat. What?
The phone line will be open, ladies and gentlemen. The number here is 518-350-4312. As soon as I hook it up here, and we're good to go. All right. And so if you want to call in and give us all of your predictions for who is going to win, that would be fantastic. And welcome to the show. And Phil, what do we have a pre-show? Do we want to talk about anything in particular? Maybe
we have to properly introduce it.
Do you have something that you
we're going to introduce it?
Do you have something that you're trying to fill in here, Phil?
I do. Absolutely.
Here's the other part of today's show. All right, everybody, and you feel free to, when you call in, or feel free to write it in the comments down below. What we're really trying to do here today is really use the word Phil for as many puns as we can, because as we were, getting ready to do the podcast and everything like that, we decided that we're just gonna say Phil for everything. So whatever puns that you may have for Phil, feel free to say it, right, Phil? Am I right?
Wow. Absolutely, Timothy.
All right.
So as illustrated on Wikipedia, this is a quote: "All Out will compromise professional wrestling matches that involve different wrestlers from pre-existed scripted feuds and storylines. Wrestlers portray heroes, villains, or less distinguishable characters in scripted events that build tension and culminate in a wrestling match or series of matches. Storylines are produced on the Young Bucks YouTube series Being the Elite and AEW's YouTube series The Road to All Out."
All right. Well, that means that make sure you subscribe to them on YouTube. No, I'm not going to fucking plug them. They have so many followers, Phil. They don't need any plug skis on that shit. No. Forget them.
Yeah.
Still waiting on you to hire us, Conrad. #StarCast. What the hell? I heard a rumor in innuendo that you have a couple of spots you're looking to fill. What about CM Punk? CM Punk's going to be at StarCast. Did you hear about that?
Right. Yeah. I'm disappointed.
Why is that? Why are you disappointed?
Because I'm the only Phil left in wrestling. He's not in wrestling anymore.
I think he'll be back soon. He's not going to be back for... I mean, maybe he'll show up on Saturday, right?
Well, I don't know if they have announced... Hold on a minute. I have to check. Okay, they already did. I was like, I wasn't 100% sure if they had announced Dean Ambrose's replacement, but they have. So...
Yeah, who is his replacement now? Or are we going to wait? Let's wait.
Let's wait.
All right.
Let's wait.
It's already been announced. Everyone knows who it already is and stuff. But let's just wait anyway.
But there is a pre-show.
There is a pre-show. Did they announce the pre-show?
They have announced the pre-show.
I got to turn this air conditioner on. Holy crap, it's hot. Who is the pre-show, Phil? I'm listening to you.
Who is the pre-show? Why is the pre-show, Tim?
When is the pre-show? That's actually a legit question. When is the pre-show?
Of course, you're gonna make me get times and stuff. Why would I be that level of prepared, Tim?
Times and dates and emotions.
Shenanigans,
Phil.
Shenanigans.
All right. Pre-show. Forget it. You wasted too much time.
On the pre-show.
Fill us in.
Yes.
Philosophically. Let's go.
We're gonna fill out this pre-show. We're gonna start off with the AEW Women's World Championship Casino Battle Royal. They are not winning the championship in this match. They get an opportunity to be in the inaugural AEW Women's World Championship match taking place on their broadcast on October 2nd on TNT.
All right, my friend. So if whoever wins this match has the opportunity to be in a battle royal to win the championship. Is that what you said?
No, this is the battle royal.
This is the battle royal.
Yes.
And then this person will be able to fight for the championship coming up on the TNT pay-per-view or TNT debut.
Well, yes.
Okay. So who's in this match?
Well, they have not announced all of the names. It was interesting during the spots that they showed. It was Jake the Snake Roberts dealing the cards because you want 21.
Yes, yeah. I got 22. Yes.
And he did that was part of the commercial.
Oh, he said it?
Yeah, he actually said it.
That's awesome.
You
know what we call that in the real world, Phil? Not in the biz, but in the real world, humility. Phil, yes. That's what we call that. All right. Yeah, I love it.
We have Nyla Rose.
Nyla, who is a man, right? That's a man.
Tim.
Hey.
We have moved beyond.
Did we though?
Nyla is a transgendered wrestler. She will be competing in the Casino Battle Royal for the AEW Women's World Championship opportunity. Timothy.
Phil, do you listen to Joe Rogan?
No.
You don't listen to Joe Rogan?
I really don't listen to Joe Rogan.
Wow. Well, you probably should. And he's probably going to get hit in a little bit of hot water lately from the millennial crowd because he made a pretty honest comment to me about a transgender MMA fighter that wants to fight women now, Phil. And the whole thing he said was that he's like, that's not fair. That's not fair at all. You know what I mean? Like you can identify however you want, but then you're gonna go and fight girls after, like your bone structure and everything like that. You're a man. You're a man. So he's probably gonna get into a lot of heat with a lot of the how dare you assume gender sort of people and everything like that, Phil. But right. I don't know. I know that wrestling is what is it, a performance art? Is that what the new fucking buzzword?
I'm not going there.
I'm not doing that shit either. That's stupid.
So, I mean, okay, we're gonna break off into the whole transgender thing. There's so many different pieces of it.
Yeah.
And some of it is some people believe it's a belief, not necessarily what people are born with. Some people believe no, it's a particular psychological identification that the person has been able to make, and it is part of their genetic makeup. Structurally, physically, I have a friend who's a paramedic who has said, when they've worked with people who are transgendered, they have to go with and I know I'm going to use the wrong terminology, the physical sexuality that they were born with genetically, not the predisposition or the psychological, I don't want to say condition or preference because it's not necessarily a preference, but where they are wanting to be or are representing, because if you do an over amperage on a woman versus a man, it can kill them instead of save them. So yeah, but I do believe that there are people who are genuinely trapped in their own body, and I've heard that expression used before. And there's been a lot in the press in the last year. I mean, not just AEW having signed 2 transgendered wrestlers, but in Texas, in the amateur wrestling finals, a female transitioning into a man wrestled and won. I think she's won now the last 2 years in her weight class. Well, people have screamed, well, it's unfair. It's unfair. If she wants to be a man, well, if he is a man, then he should be in the men's competition. Well, the Texas State Athletic Commission will not, or the Amateur Athletic Commission will not let him compete against other men because they identify that, well, was born a woman, so she should be in the female tournament. So, right. And then people are crying on the other side. Well, he's taking.
How dare you assume, right?
Right. How dare you assume? Well, not just that, but isn't he taking performance enhancing medication, hormone replacement
to get him there? Yeah,
right.
That's testosterone,
right? And isn't that an unfair advantage against these other women? And he's out there saying, "I want to compete against the guys." And what happens is when they have singles meets, the guys will often forfeit. They don't even want to have a match. Mm-hmm. And in tournaments, the state will not let him be in a man's tournament. He has to go into a women's tournament.
Right.
So, I do recognize that there are a lot of challenges for people who identify with being transgendered.
Yeah.
So anyway, all that being said,
Jeremy's not happy with this.
Sorry. All right, we're good. Sorry, Jeremy. We're moving on. So far announced, we have Nyla
I'm laughing
Rose.
at his comment about Joe Rogan on Fear Factor, though, by the way. That's where I'm at. All right, yes, continue. So with this women's battle royal, which, with how important that the women are in wrestling now, let's put them on the pre-show. But anyway, continue, Phil. Like, what do we have here?
We have Nyla Rose, Shaza McKenzie, Big Swole, Sadie Gibbs, Allie, your chief brandy officer.
Brandy Rose. I meant to hit the woo. Sorry. Continue.
Ivelisse, who has finally been released from her Lucha Underground contract. Jazz is making her return.
Whoa, really?
To the national stage. And the daughter of Rowdy Roddy Piper, Teal Piper, will debut.
Has she wrestled before? Do we know that she's wrestled, or is this the start?
I thought this was her start. I had not heard about her starting. I am quickly trying to scan to see if I can find something. She has also signed a contract with Women of Wrestling, but I don't believe her debut will be at All Out.
Who's she been training with? Do we know? What do we know, Phil? What do we know?
You made me flip away from the page, Tim.
Phil, why would you flip away when we're mid-sentence?
Well, because I was on the other. I was ready to move forward, Tim.
Why?
We're going backwards.
Wait, did you flip away? Oh! Wow. Phil. You flipped away. Phil, come on. That was great. Little onomatopoeia, play on words, right?
I'm there.
Are you talking shit over there?
I'm talking lots of shit, Tim. It starts with Sami Callihan and ends with you.
Oh, okay. Well, at least I'm on a list, right? Finally.
Right.
Wow. PWI 500 came out. I haven't wrestled in 5 years, but still they left me off it. So there's that, assholes. Sid Vicious is still probably on that list. When was the last time that guy fucking wrestled? Showed up to work.
You know what?
Softball
because
season.
of our mutual wrestling experience.
Yeah.
Pro Wrestling Syndicate brought in Psycho Sid. Do you remember this, Tim?
I do. Do you want to know what my favorite part about that show was?
Go for it, Tim.
I was the only one. I'm gonna say this. I was the only one that was, dressed up in like slacks and like a button down and everything like that, because like that's what they said. And I don't know if he had met Eric Tapp out yet at the time, but he fucking stopped his conversation and got up and shook my hand because I think he thought that I was the booker and he was gonna get paid. So it was really weird because he literally came up to me and shook my hand, and then he powerbombed Eddie Kingston like fucking 3 times, even though he wasn't supposed to powerbomb anyone, right?
Right. Well, because the crowd chanted for it, so he did it once, and the crowd kept going. He did it again. Crowd kept going. I think he did it the 3rd time. And it was like 30 seconds of Sid Vicious. And
I think he fell, too, in the middle of it as well.
I do think you're right. I think on like the second one he tripped or something.
Yeah.
But honestly, it was probably the best we could have had of Sid Vicious.
Oh, yeah.
To ruin the moment.
Yeah. That he's fucking sweet. Even though he never wants to show up. All right, we need to get back to this fucking match. We are really falling off topic.
Like, what's wrong with you, Tim?
I'm very energetic today.
And I'm noticing, like, I have the Sami Callihan jacket. My voice is slowly like,
oh, you're turning into Sami.
It's a thing.
You remember when Sami Callihan shoved an action figure up Rockshaw's ass in the kitchen of the.
I forgot about that. I was remembering the beginning of that. So, okay, let's digress. So there was this horrible wrestler named Rockshaw, like the worst wrestler in the world. One of them.
He's still wrestling. Don't you think he's not?
Wrestling. Right.
And the more and more I notice, like from when somebody says that he's coming, it's getting closer and closer to my house. And I'm like, oh no. Next thing you know, he's gonna be in like Saratoga.
He was the worst. And when I was on commentary, Eric Tapout, who was the promoter, would say, "I want you to amp up. Just be raw with how much you are disgusted by the fact he's in a wrestling ring."
Yeah.
So he's cutting this horrible promo in the back, and like me and a couple of guys are next to him. And I hate Sami for this because he stole my idea. I was like, I'm gonna run in on this promo, and Sammy like darts by me and like tackles him to the ground and like just start beat him up. There was a random action figure I think he hit him with or whatever.
Yeah.
Sammy then cuts his own promo, walks away. Rockshaw stands up like nothing happened. Anyway.
Yeah, that was the best part. Dude, I just spat all over myself and I don't care, but that literally was the best part. Where he's like, so anyway, and just continues trying to cut this badass promo. Even though Sammy just literally kicked the shit out of him for fucking
right.
Did everything he literally could.
We were like,
so anyway. Yeah, that was the best.
So Tim.
Yes.
Who do you got for this casino?
Who's in this thing? Who's in it?
Shazza McKenzie, Nyla Rose, Britt Baker, Allie, Brandy Rhodes, Teal Piper, Evilise, Jazz, Big Swole, and Sadie Gibbs.
I'm going to go with Brandy.
And Awesome Kong.
Not Brandy. I'm going to go with Britt Baker, the dentist, right? Isn't that who that is?
You're going to go with Britt Baker?
Absolutely.
I'm going Awesome Kong.
All right. Do it. Awesome Kong.
Yay. We got through one match.
We got through one match, and we're a half an hour into the show. Wow. All right. Let's continue.
Also, in tag team action, we have the team of Private Party, Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Ken, versus Angelico and Jack Evans.
Oh, okay. So, Jack Evans is sweet. Tell me about the first team that you were just talking about there, Phil.
Private Party, they're from the New York area. They bring it. You saw them 2 months ago in the pre-show for an opportunity to get a tag team tournament spot. They are an amazing pair. They're mid-20s. I want to say they were trained by Amazing Red. I might be blending a little bit, but they're just phenomenal. They're just phenomenal to watch.
All right, well then fuck it, Phil. I'm going to go with them then. All right.
Okay.
Let's go. Who do you got?
Then I'm going with Angelico and Evans. I do like Private Party, but Angelico and Evans, like...
But Angelico and Evans, they don't have a gimmick name. They don't have the...
They've been teaming for like 6 years.
Yeah, but who knows them really, though?
The entire international wrestling community. Jack Evans has been a name in professional wrestling for 15 years.
Well, who do you guys have? All right, if you feel free to call in. Let us know who you have for All Elite Wrestling, All Out predictions, everything like that. The phone number here listed below: 518-350-4312. Feel free to call and let Phil and I know live on the air who you have. And if you can't finish watching the show right now with us, never fear. All the recordings of this will be on all the different podcast networks that you can think of. Like what, Phil? What other podcast networks can you think of, Phil? No? Nothing?
You can listen on Google and Spotify and Apple Podcast and Stitcher and iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio, yeah, Phil. We're
you can even ask Alexa to play the Tim Zabriskie Show. Turn up your volume. Alexa, play the Tim Zabriskie Show.
Really? That works?
Okay, Google, play the Tim Zabriskie Show.
Oh, wow. I didn't know you could do that.
Forever.
I like this.
Thumbs up. Oh, sorry. Too much copyright infringement.
Oh, no. I think we're good.
There might be a limit.
Hello, Brad. How are you? All right.
Brad's my favorite.
Nice.
Just saying. Not picking favorites, but Brad's my favorite.
All right. So
we're out of the pre-show.
Out of the pre-show. Welcome to the main card.
We have 8 matches to get through.
8 matches to go.
8.
Tam. All right, go ahead.
We have Luchasaurus, Jungleboy, and Marco Stunt. I know you can identify with Marco. Versus SoCal Uncensored of Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky. You like how I just breezed by that one?
Yeah, who is Marco Stunt? Who is that?
Tim.
Phil.
Yeah.
Phil, you have to talk to me as if you're introducing...
You know who Marco Stunt is?
Have I worked with him, Phil?
Marco Stunt is 4'10", has crazy big hair, 20 years old, out of Mississippi. Recently signed to a full-time AEW contract. He is an amazing personality inside the ring.
Is he an incredible lover?
What?
That's what you're making it sound like, Phil. You're basically you're like he's 4 foot tall. He's really sweaty. He's got big muscles. He's an incredible lover. Recently signed.
That's not where.
That's not where
anybody hear me say that. Like, I just want to make sure that I know I'm wearing leather and studs, but I'm not go there.
You're also wearing another man's clothing, though, Phil. I mean.
No, this is mine. This is totally mine. Not mine.
Oh, okay. So you just walk around with a studded vest
all the time.
All the time.
All the time, Tim. So Tim.
yes, sir.
So Jungleboy. So let's go through this.
Okay,
so everybody understands Timothy.
So everybody knows
the name who's on the podcast name. Tim.
Yes. We're trying to help AEW here by promoting to them and letting me learn who these people are. All right, continue.
I've already described Marco Stunt. Marco Stunt, phenomenal talent. Really engaging. Won the Futures SCI tournament last year. Jungleboy is the son of Luke Perry.
Okay.
Jungleboy and
the
Luchasaurus. The actor Luke Perry, Dylan from 90210. Jungleboy is the son of Luke Perry. Jungleboy is a wild man. His regular partner in crime is Luchasaurus, big giant lizard guy.
Oh yes, I saw the one promo where they got signed, right? Where like Jungleboy was on top of Luchasaurus's shoulders or something like that, right? Much. Yeah.
He's like Kamandi from DC Comics. For those of you who get that reference.
Yeah, he's huge. He's a big boy. He's a big guy.
Well, Jungleboy's Kamandi. Technically, Luchasaurus just he's the dinosaur.
It's funny that Luke Perry's son wouldn't want to do like more of a snobby, like I'm the son of a Hollywood actor kind of gimmick, Instead, he wants to be fucking Jumanji.
Right. Not a single day, he didn't. And I mean, even his dad wasn't that character in 90210.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to be. He's got Hollywood street cred. Why wouldn't he want to go that way?
Right.
He's more Hollywood than the Miz. Let's be real. When you think about it,
that is true. He is what the movie that just came out, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Was Luke Perry's last movie. Jungleboy is actually
he quit.
He died, Tim.
Oh,
Luke Perry passed away.
How? What happened?
I don't know how he passed, but he passed away this past summer. So his last movie that was out was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Jungleboy is not featured, but he is an extra in it. So.
And he's not going to use that for his actual career on television?
Hi, I'm Jungleboy. I'm the son of Luke Perry. Like, what else do you need to say?
Don't call yourself Jungleboy. How about that?
Anyway, then taking on SoCal Uncensored. SoCal Uncensored, who sort of has been the biggest, next to like the members of the Elite themselves, probably the biggest proponents and marketers of all Elite Wrestling. Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky.
They're putting everybody else over right now. That's what their spot is, Phil. They're just they're putting over all the young talent. They're doing their due diligence.
So are you saying
Christopher Daniels is doing his part to help the business move forward? I don't know who it. But they need a win, Phil. They totally need a win. But I mentally understand what they're doing here, But there's got to be a breaking point with it, so that they can continue to do this without them looking like jerks, Is it going to be here, Phil?
I don't know. What do you think, Timothy?
Well, here's my second follow-up question, Phil. I know at the last pay-per-view, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I know that all three of them weren't on the same team together. I think that Christopher Daniels wrestled a singles match on that show. Like, my question here is that yes. Is this the first time that all three of SoCal Uncensored are doing a 6-man in All Elite Wrestling?
I think you are correct on that.
So that's going to be the part that makes them go over. So I'm going to go with them here. So basically, individually or in the one tag team and Christopher Daniels working singles, it didn't work out for them very well, right? So putting the band back together, if you will, they're gonna win by shenanigans. It's gonna be a schmaz finish, Phil, and then they're gonna go over. What do you guys think? Give us a call, 518-350-4312. The phone lines are open, the bat line, if you will. And yeah, let us know who you have going into this one. But Phil, you first. Who do you have going over?
I actually was also going SoCal Uncensored.
Oh.
I actually agree with Timothy.
Wow.
I know. Wow. Surprising things can happen.
Yeah, it doesn't happen all the time. All right, so Phil, that being said, what do you what do we got going on next?
Hikaru Sheeta takes on Rijo. This is the second time Sheeta has wrestled for AEW. She and Rijo had previously teamed at Double or Nothing with a third partner to defeat Aja Kong, Sakazuki, and Emi Sakura. Rijo has previously defeated Nyla Rose and Sakazaki in a triple threat at Fyter Fest. So now these two ladies are going to go at it one-on-one. Rijo versus Hikaru Shida.
All right, so here's a couple people that I still have yet to actually watch, and oh man, I love how we're like the experts in this position, and I'm failing to do any of my own research. But look at you having a stroke over there as I'm saying all this. But yeah, tell the people who these people are, Phil.
I just kind of told you everything.
I don't know.
It's right there. Japanese female talents. They are amazing talents to watch inside of a ring. Both of them have victories now at All Elite Wrestling. So now,
well then, Phil, why don't you go first then? Why don't you let us know? Who do you think is going to go over?
I wanted you to fail first, so I'm going to say Hikaru Shida. I think she's had more of the prominent stance so far at All Elite Wrestling. Why break that stride?
All right. Well, I'm going to go with Ryu here. All right. I think he did very well in Street Fighter 2 Tournament Edition, and I really like the way he wears the headband right in this area. So I'm gonna go with Ryu in this one for Phil. Phil, they love me here on the internet. I mean, what do you want? All right, I got jokes.
Lots of them.
All of them. Every single one. Who do you guys have?
Next up in a match that was sort of helped to be set up by Blink 182.
What?
That's right. Yeah, this really happened. Darby Allin versus Joey Janela versus Jimmy Havoc. Jimmy Havoc, international deathmatch superstar, former Tournament of Death winner. Joey Janela is just, the crazy reject from the 80s. And Darby Allin is the former professional skateboarder turned professional wrestler who saw the craziness in his match with Cody 2 months ago. So we all know that he is willing to do and is insanely ready to do anything. And they're calling this match a Cracker Barrel Clash. Exactly what that is, you're going to have to wait and see and find out this Saturday live on pay-per-view.
Huh. It's very interesting, Phil. It doesn't make... I don't get it.
And as for Blink-182, what ended up happening was there seemed to be some kind of scuffle, some kind of shenanigans, some kind of melee. And it was Janela and Jimmy Havoc and Darby Allin. And as they pan away from it, as security is trying to pull these three apart, oh, hi, Blink-182, who says, Janela, stop. Janela, stop. Janela.
You know what's weird? Can we digress for a second? Are you really big into Blink-182, Phil? Or did you used to be? Used to be. Yeah. Okay. So that Tom, that guy Tom, right? Did you know that he's really big into space, and he's really huge into like he's not even in the band anymore. I get that, but he like went to the White House to talk to Trump about the aliens and Space Force and everything like that. Like during that whole time when Trump was gonna start like I don't know, the space army and stuff like that. Like this guy had a proponent in that. Did you know that?
You do know that the Space Force is has been launched, right? Like it's
yeah, but when this was all starting, like the Tom guy, the crazy, like he's mentally insane. Like he would just he really believes in aliens and everything like that. And he went to the White House to go deal with that, or like to talk to Trump about it. Isn't that crazy?
It was a little crazy.
Yeah. So but I digress, Phil. Phil, who do you think is going to go over in this match here?
I mean, what's interesting is that, they positioned Joey Janela to be one of their early superstars. They put him out front. Darby Allin already had a little bit of TV experience in front of him. He was on Ridiculousness, professional skateboarder, so he has that audience and market. Both Jimmy and Darby are known for being crazy and insane. Janela is just known for just being mindless crazy. You're the one that saw him do the got his shoe ripped off and Moxley slammed his foot into some thumbtacks.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was insane.
So, and even then, that was something done to Janela, not that something that Janela was doing. So is Darby or Havoc, who has this level of insanity that they're willing to bring into a match, going to stand up taller? I'm hopeful and thinking that Jimmy Havoc will be the one who stands tall in this, but I don't know. I think there's enough to be said for any of these guys walking away. Yeah,
I mean, I don't know, Phil. I'm gonna have to go with Joey Janela on this one. All right, I think that he's really making himself get out there. I think he's really making it so that he's creating a little bit of a buzz for himself, creating a little bit of a name for himself with all of these shenanigans that he's pulling here, and it just makes sense to me that they're gonna go with him here on this one. He's a contender for like everything that they're doing, but they got to keep him strong. So this is gonna be the one where they keep him strong, Phil.
I agree.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's crazy. All right, Phil, how many matches do we have left?
We have 5 more matches.
All right, let's do one more and we'll take a quick break.
All right. So during the Fyter Fest pre-show, Best Friends, Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta, beat SoCal Uncensored and Private Party to move into the tag team tournament. Meanwhile, at Fight for the Fallen, the Dark Order, who was Evil Uno and Stu Grayson, made their AEW debut and also won their 3-way match. So now these two teams that have won 3-way tag matches now are in this match against each other. So Best Friends of Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta are going to take on the Dark Order of Evil Uno and Stu Grayson in order to determine who will get a first-round bye in the AEW World Tag Team Tournament.
Now, besides all of us knowing who the Best Friends are and, all of us marking out to them because they're fantastic, they're awesome, right? We already know all this stuff. What did they really accomplish in All Elite Wrestling thus far, Phil?
I mean, they did defeat SoCal Uncensored and Private Party at a time when everybody thought SoCal Uncensored would be the easy call to win that match.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's a huge win for them. Now, what about these other guys that they're going up against? What's the big thing with them, Phil?
So the biggest thing is that they've walked into AEW in their in-ring debut for All Elite Wrestling and beat Angelico and Jack Evans as well as Jungleboy and Luchasaurus. So they've beat 2 established other teams that already had some presence in All Elite Wrestling. They literally walked out of Canada and into the door at All Elite Wrestling and won their first match.
Yeah. All right. So I mean, I don't know, Phil. Who are you going to go with here?
I'm going with Best Friends. The fact that they have been there a little bit longer, they have a little bit more of the reputation. They've traveled a little bit more around the world, though the Dark Order have been together a long time. So not longer than the Best Friends. So actually, the Dark Order has been together longer. Evil Uno, who used to be Player Uno, has seen the dark side, pun, and has teamed with former player Dose, now known as Stu Grayson. So that team has been together longer than Best Friends, but Best Friends has received more of the accolades.
Ah, okay. So if that's the case, Phil, I'm going to have to agree with you, and I'm going to have to go with the Best Friends. I think that they're saving them. I think that they're and putting them in a bye situation for the tournament, for the tag team championships. I think it's the best way to go, and especially since they're they're buddy with the Young Bucks. So yeah, it makes sense to me, Phil.
Alrighty. Well, we're at that halfway point, Tim.
All right. Well, everybody, we'll be right back after a brief little bit of messages.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Can't finish the show in just one sitting? No problem. Listen to this and past episodes of the Tim Zabriskie Show on demand on all major podcasting networks, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and the iHeartRadio app. It's perfect for the ride home.
It's time! It's time! It's Vader time!
If you owned a DeLorean time machine that afforded you incredible access to amazing adventures, would you risk losing it all to attempt a speed record? Probably not, but I did. Join me and the mayor himself as we take you through the journey of building and then racing an infamously temperamental car, hoping to make it the fastest DeLorean in the world.
Why don't you just tell the story?
It's my brother.
Dude, then why tell the story?
He's the one who sent the video that I put on Facebook that 7,000 people saw. All of that was a lie. I gotta put myself in danger?
Babe, what shirt are you wearing?
My Tim Zabriskie Show shirt.
Phil!
Tim
Zabriskie Show shirts. They're still on sale. Can you believe that?
That's amazing, Tim.
Phil, they're $10. Did you know that?
I did know that they're $10, Tim.
Phil, I'll ship them anywhere. Do you know why?
Because this time all Elite isn't free and you have to pay for it. You have to have some extra cash.
That's my favorite one so far, Phil.
Thank you, Tim.
They're I'll ship them anywhere because you're paying for it.
Would you like to say that again, Tim?
I'll ship them anywhere because you're paying for it.
There you go. Should we talk about
what?
The woo? Should we talk about the woo or move past it?
Talk about the woo. Go ahead.
All right. So, many of you know, young Timothy is now a married man.
Look right here.
Do you have the ring? Have the ring?
It's right there, yeah. Can't leave home without it.
And during the celebration of the ceremony at the reception,
yes.
Tim may have had his own little jacket and robe coming down. Little bit of Ric Flairing and wooing, whining and dining.
Yeah.
And he may perhaps have had conversations with perhaps the rights of said video being now purchased by a media corporation.
Yeah. It's.
I don't know why I suddenly started to turn into Matt.
Now, if you're looking for the video in question that we are speaking about, if you go to youtube.com/TimmyZ4674 and go through the old history here, and you keep scrolling back, and you'll see right here, just look for the WWE Ric Flair wedding entrance and promo, and you'll be able to see the video that it is that Phil and I here are talking about. And but yeah, Phil, I mean these peoples, this ad agency that are working on some sort of commercial, they reached out to me, but I told them that I was like, well, how much money am I gonna make? And I haven't heard from them since.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
That was the recent development. They did reach out. They sent me a contract and everything. They wanted to make sure with me and the photographer that I actually own the footage, and which I do. But I was like, well, what kind of compensation are we talking about? And I did reach back out again, and she said, oh yeah, well, she's like, let me talk to the producer and I'll get back to you. And then I reached out again, and she said, yeah, I haven't heard from him, but I'll get back to you shortly. And that's been the latest of it, Phil. So I don't know, maybe I should have just taken the free route and been in the commercial. You know what I mean? But I mean, Phil, if there's one thing that I'm done doing in this whole freaking wrestling deal,
yes,
all right,
Tim.
besides this, even though we can't really talk about it, is doing things for free, Phil. I mean, if I see an opportunity for some money, Phil, what am I gonna do? I'm just oh yeah, here's my leg. All right, here's my arm too. So I'm sure they'll get in touch with me. I know these things take a little bit of time. It's not instant gratification, even though we want it to be, Phil. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, you know.
But Tim, think of the money.
I'm thinking of the money, Phil. That's why
the money.
That's why we're in this whole predicament right now, Phil.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why you have to pay $10 for shipping.
Yeah. I mean, the shipping, we don't know how much that is, Phil. But the shirt itself is $10, all right? That's going to me. All right? The shipping is what it is, you know?
Cheapest wrestling shirts ever, $10.
Yeah. And if you guys really want to make your bang for your buck, move next to me, and then I'll just bring it to you, you know?
There you go. If you're in the what is that area of New York? The upstate south central area of New York on the eastern side?
What?
I don't know my New York geography.
You're in the northern New York southeastern side of the central what?
Right, because you're upstate, because anything that's not New York City is upstate.
Yeah.
I learned that lesson. So you're upstate New York, but you're on the eastern side of the state.
Yeah.
You're
yeah.
kind of south.
Not really. No, I'm above Albany.
Yeah, but is that South New York, Southernish New York?
No, that's more northern.
So what did you say, central? Is that more centralish New York?
You were smarter when you were saying the eastern side. Like when I think of like
upstate, eastern, central New York.
No, when you start saying like central New York, you're looking more like Syracuse, more like Rochester. But even Rochester's more on the west side of New York,
right?
Ish.
Because when I think northern New York, I'm either like Buffalo or Phillipsburg.
All right.
Or Plattsburgh, excuse me.
Yeah, but to get to Plattsburgh, you got to go through Saratoga. Right. So you're going this like that's all on one stretch.
Don't you still like 3 more hours after that to get to Plattsburgh?
Oh yeah. I'm not saying it's close by any means. I mean, we're not talking that. We're just talking geographical, philosophical locations here, Phil.
There you go. Damn. So you want to know what's next, Tim?
What's next, Phil?
Let's go with Cody versus Shawn Spears.
Oh yes, Mr. 10, right? Mr. 10.
Mr. 10. And one of the probably right now the biggest rivalry in All Elite, would you say, or one of the biggest rivalries in All Elite? With it's interesting that their top guys all have a rivalry, and there isn't really like an undercard rivalry at the moment. Shawn Spears 2 months ago attacked Cody Rhodes after his match
and murdered him relentlessly with a folding chair.
A rigged folding chair that then sliced open the back of his head.
It was gimmicked, Phil. Thanks, Tony. Exactly.
Yeah. I'm not buying it. Anyway, so Cody versus Shawn Spears. Shawn Spears this time in his corner will have Tully Blanchard at his side.
That's awesome.
That is pretty interesting that they did that.
Now, does this mean that Arn is going to be in Cody's side?
Ooh,
How badass would that be? Oh, that brings me to another question, Phil. Is Tony Schiavone on this card?
I know
he just got signed, right?
He has been signed. I'm gonna guess yes, but I don't know for sure if he is.
Do you think that we're gonna get that dream team of him and JR?
I kind of hope so. In another way, I almost hope that one of the two of them helps run production.
Yeah.
And not because they're not good at being on mic. Oh my gosh, they're great at being on mic. But I think they need somebody to be a bigger voice of control, reason, timing, movement for just the production of the show. And I think both of them have that ability. I almost would rather see even Tony Schiavone on the mic and Jim Ross actually helping to coordinate the production because he has that experience.
Well, here's my thoughts here, Phil, and I'm prepared to lose some fans and lose some viewership here when I say this. Jim Ross is not Jim Ross is not the Jim Ross that he was years ago.
That's fair.
I mean, let's face it. And this guy can be as butthurt as he wants when he says that, that he still feels he has juice in the tank and everything like that. And it was a crime against humanity, Phil, when Vince McMahon saw the light and was just like, yeah, he's not as good as he used to be, and took him off and everything like that. But the thing is that at the same time, do we want like another pouty Jim Ross Escalade, like walking around backstage of AEW being all upset and stuff like that? I hate to say it too, Phil, but the two other people that he's been doing commentary with have been carrying him, Phil. They've been carrying him because he's not as good as he used to be. All right, I love the guy. All right, I know that's the whole thing, but he's not what he used to be, Phil. But are they going to take him off? No, they're not, and I don't. I'm very back and forth because I don't blame them for that either. But at the same time, it's like it's not what it used to be, Phil. I'm sorry.
Corey Strahl is saying that Tony and JR will be on the commentary team for the live shows, from what he's read. And in one way, I kind of hope that too, just because. I'll be honest, I didn't think Excalibur really was good in that chair. I don't know the other guy, but the other guy was stepping into it for the first time, and I thought he actually was almost the best of the three, trying to keep them moving forward and keeping it together.
That's what I'm saying. He carried,
but he also
thing.
lacked some of that experience. So maybe Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone being together will be able to bring it up a notch and move it forward.
Now here's where it'll work, Phil. All right, if Tony Schiavone is the play-by-play and JR does the color, then it'll be fantastic, all right? If JR can throw in one of his funny one-liners here and there, but not do the entire match, I think that it'll work great.
Yeah.
I think that if he does more of the Bobby Heenan sort of role, the more of what Jerry Lawler was for Jim Ross, if he can do that for Tony Schiavone, I think that we do have a winning combination in that. But if it's definitely not going to work if Tony is doing play-by-play. The one play-by-play or the one color comment. I meant to say color if I said play-by-play before.
You did say play-by-play, but that's okay.
If Tony does the color for their combination, like it's not going to work. Like, what's the one color comment that you remember him saying? That'll really put the butts in the seats. That was it. All right. It doesn't really work, but if you put Tony doing the play-by-play, JR doing the color commentary with his one-liners with the government mule and the barbecue sauce and the motorcycles and everything, but.
So Cody versus Shawn Spears, Tim.
Cody versus Shawn Spears. I'm going to go with Shawn Spears on this one. I think that they need another very big heel behind what's his face? What's that guy's name? Chris Jericho, right? And I think that Shawn Spears can do it. We already can see that he knows how to murder someone with a chair, a gimmick chair, Phil, if you will. But yeah, I'm gonna go with him. Who do you got?
I'm totally going Cody on this one. I mean, I hate to say it, but already the elite have established themselves that they're not losing if they're going up against somebody else.
It's bullshit. This is childhood.
I'm going to play the card that they have repeatedly dealt and played.
This is childhood bullshit here, all right? That's what it is. This is like, oh, I finally have a big fucking indie show, and now I'm going to fucking book myself to win every single time. Right. Bullshit. All right.
Well, what's kind of interesting.
This is the kind of shit you get up in fucking Highgate, Vermont, Phil.
So since we're talking about Cody, and one of his good friends, Stephen Amell, who is my brain went. Who is playing Green Arrow on the show Arrow. He just got signed for a brand new wrestling TV show called Heels, where he's going to be one of two brothers who own a wrestling company.
Who book themselves to win every match, Phil?
Yes, basically. And he plays the lead heel of the company, otherwise known as, that's why the show is called Heels. But he's a family guy trying to make ends meet. Yeah. And I think their last name is like Dairy because it's the Dairy Wrestling Association. I was like, this is going to break hearts of people I know. This is going to kill them. And in a way, I'm like, I hope it does. I hope it like thins the herd out of like, oh yeah, we're doing these things. I really am hoping it. But the way Stephen Amell announced it was he tweeted out, hey, Cody Rhodes, want to do a TV show with me? And it's like, that's, in a way that gets buzz. That's cool. At the same time, Cody didn't work independent wrestling shows until after the WWE. So like, does he really have that experience of understanding that kind of wrestling and independent wrestling? And to hear that they're digging into a storyline that has to do with like families who own wrestling companies and like their name is on it and like they're the lead guys. I'm like, this is telling a very particular story. And I'm like, who wrote this story? Because Cody didn't write it. It couldn't have come from his perspective unless he was reflecting on things like maybe his dad told him or other friends that he has in business told him. Stephen Amell is not from the wrestling industry, though he's a super fan. I don't know. It's just interesting.
We'll have to wait for the credits to come out to see who's writing this whole thing. But
right. Hey, Ken, how are you?
Hello, Ken. But yeah, I mean, you're gonna go with Cody on this one? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh no, you're lighting.
My brand new battery died.
Have we been going that long? We've only been going an hour. It says.
I know. Well, I like this lighting. It makes me look better.
Yeah, Phil. For the late viewers, tell us, where did you get that sweet vest that you're rocking?
I deserved a gift, Tim.
Yeah. And where did you get this gift?
I did not take it from Sammy Callahan.
Oh.
Did not. I got myself a present.
Oh, well, congratulations.
As the president of wrestling,
you deserve gifts every once in a while.
Yes, I deserve gifts.
That's not very presidential, the whole.
Hey, it is Ohio versus everything. I'm not from Ohio.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I laid a preemptive strike, Tim.
Gotcha. Makes sense. You want to salute, Mr. President? Okay. All right.
Like, look, singlet's better.
Yeah, let's see the singlet, huh?
I don't see. Again, I'm wrapped in wires. You're making me.
You're blurry.
I want to knock things over. I don't have a light that works anymore. Like.
Oh wow.
Wow. I've been losing weight.
You're looking good. I don't even remember the last time you fit into a singlet. But anyway, I digress. Oh. Who do you guys think are going to go over in that Cody Rhodes versus Shawn Spears match? Give us a call, 518-350-4312, and let us know. Or write it in the comments down below, whether you're watching us here, watching us on the YouTube channel. And if you can't finish watching the show with us here, never fear, because we are on all the podcast networks that you would that way you can listen to us on the work. So, Phil, what kind of podcast networks are we on?
We are on Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts,
Spotify.
You name it, we're on it. Spotify.
Yes, we are everywhere. So, Phil, what is the next match that we have going on here?
We have, for the AAA World Tag Team Championship, we have the current reigning champions, the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon Jr. and Rey Fenix, taking on the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson.
Oh, my gosh, Phil, have we seen this match like 8 times already?
We have, and so far the Lucha Brothers have yet to defeat the Young Bucks. They have been preemptively striking against the Young Bucks at many opportunities, but have not been able to pull off a victory in any of their matches.
It's incredible, Phil. Are they like executive producers of this federation or anything?
They
like
are, Tim.
Isn't that insane?
They're members of this thing called the Elite. Tim.
Oh, and what's the name of the Fed, Phil?
All Elite Wrestling.
Wow. It's crazy, Phil. I don't even know what to think, you know? It's insane. So, Phil.
Yes, Tim.
Who do you think is going to go over?
So I will say there's one weird wrinkle to all of this, and that is that it is for the AAA World Tag Team Championship.
Right.
That does sort of raise things up a little bit differently, and the Lucha Brothers have a stronger connection to that. But again, so far, Elite Wrestling, the Young Bucks have totally whooped the Lucha Brothers. I'm going Young Bucks.
Corey, when was that match in Mexico? Was it after the latest time that they wrestled here in America?
Right. It is interesting to just see, like, I really felt before the Lucha Brothers, before we got to this point where they're about to be on television, this was the opportunity that they could have really had introduced the rest of the world, or more of the world, to the Lucha Brothers. And, you know, many of the same audience that's watching All Out, that's watching All Elite Wrestling, knows who they are.
Yeah.
They were present on Impact Wrestling, Lucha Underground, from AAA. They had a strong presence that many people know of. So that's interesting, you know, and that is true. You know, often AAA belts do not change hands outside of Mexico. I don't even know if there has been ever one time the AAA belt. I'm going Young Bucks, but that does not mean they're going to walk away with the tag team titles. So I'm going to say half point. There's my half point call. The Bucks are winning.
Okay.
But they're not getting the titles. So,
yeah, but if Corey here is saying in the comment that AAA belts don't change hands outside of Mexico, that's bullshit that you're making it a half-point bet.
Well,
you
then
can't
counter
do that.
Yeah, I can totally make it. We've never
No,
set a rule for half point bet.
that's horseshit.
I'm totally taking the half point. You make a half point bet.
I think that half point that you're a jackass. How about that? All right.
Zabriskie.
No! Corey's putting the rules out there for all of us to see. You're not supposed to make...
There have been AAA belts that have changed hands outside of Mexico. Is it
like what?
Often?
Give me one.
Is it often? No, just like the WWE titles don't often change hands outside of the United States. That doesn't mean it never ever happens.
Oh, you're talking about like when they
super
go on like
rare.
a European tour and to pop to like Italy and they change hands? Is that what we're talking about here?
Santino, right? We had Santino.
No,
And
not
then
even Santino, because that was on TV. I'm talking like they'll do that deal where they'll go to like a house show in like Rome, right? And then like Chris Candido and Zip will they'll win the tag belts from the Smoking Guns.
Fucking Zip.
yeah. and then the Smoking Guns will like win it back in like I don't know, like Belgium or some shit like that, like 2 nights later, just to pop that crowd. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, are you talking like AAA's belts change hands like that too?
It's very rare. It is rare. That's why I'm saying they're going to win, but that's not why they're going to get the titles, because it is rare enough. Why are you calling my half point bet bullshit?
It's like
you've made worse half point bets, Tim.
It's like rare. Okay, all right. Yeah, but my half point bets are cute.
Rare.
This is the thing. My half point bets are cute. Yeah, because mine are like, oh yeah, well Leo Rush is gonna like bench press like 100 pounds or some shit like that. All right.
You want to say Leo Rush is coming out of it?
No Leo Rush in this crap. All right. He can't afford to make it to AEW.
Wow.
Oh, come on, fucking crybaby with his fucking Orlando. Oh, it's so expensive. Okay. Phil. All right. I'm gonna go with the other guys then. All right.
Going Lucha.
Because we're gonna get that rare occurrence, and for the half point, they're gonna get the fucking belts back, Phil. How about them apples? All right.
They're already the champions.
Yeah, and they're gonna hold on to the belts. They're gonna hold on to the belts.
You can't do that. They're gonna win. Oh, but they're already the champions, so they're gonna keep the belts, and that's your half point.
Well, Phil, how am I going to compete with your stupid half point? Leo Rush is going to bench press 120 pounds?
I'm having that the Young Bucks are winning, but that they're not going to win the AAW titles. I'm not giving them the full win. It'll be a count out or some DQ bullshit. And I'm saying so no titles will change hands, but they're still going to win.
Phil, I think that's stupid. All right.
Well, then counter it with something less stupid.
Well, if the
Other
team,
than-
how am I going to
They're
counter?
They're going to keep their titles. Well, yeah, they're going to keep the titles, of course, if they win.
Yeah, Phil, but how am I going to counter if you're thinking that the Young Bucks are going to win, but they're not getting the belts? How am I supposed to say, oh yeah, the other team isn't going to win, and they're not going to have the belts at the end of the day?
No, like we've done random half-point bets. This is my random half-point bet. You can make something up when we talk about the next 2 matches that we have.
Fine. All right. Stupid.
Damn.
This is ridiculous.
It's not stupid. Damn.
Fine, Phil.
Fix it in post.
Oh yeah, I'll fix you in post.
Wow. I love to see you in a singlet.
Oh my God, me too.
Do you still have wrestling gear left?
Yeah. You don't throw that shit
did
away.
It, just dissolve in you?
No, I have it in a backpack that I haven't opened in a while. And you know what's weird about wrestling gear? That when you hold on to it like that, it doesn't matter how much you fucking wash it and everything like that. You hide it away, and it still smells like ass. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
Is it the
there's an odor.
shoes? Is it the shoes?
It might. You know what? That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense, but it's fine. All right.
So next, we have
2 matches left, right?
We have 2 matches left.
All right.
Initially, this next match was supposed to be Jon Moxley versus Kenny Omega. Unfortunately, Moxley had the return of a staph infection, so he's not going to be able to compete at All Out. So now, actually,
do we do the drum roll?
Do you want me to do the voice, Tim? I'll do the voice.
Why don't we do this match after? Do the other match first.
Do the other match first?
Yeah.
Well, okay, but the other match is for the AEW World Championship.
Okay, so we can't do that. It's kind of like the other match that Jericho was in at WrestleMania, right? With him and Triple H when that wasn't really the main event, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Irony.
So,
well, let's go back to this one. Do you want to do the voice here? All right. So it's going to be Kenny Omega versus. It doesn't have the same effect, right?
Right, it's a syllable.
Pac. You usually get a lot higher in your voice when you.
Right. It's a syllable. There's not much to play with there.
Yeah, but it sounds like you're going like.
I can do my southern accent and make it like Pac. That way, there's 2 syllables. Pac.
Yeah, do that, but like give a little bit more description of Pac. Pac. That just sounds creepy, though.
It does sound creepy. But because of all the issues that have happened before with Pac,
is he going to show?
Well, okay, so yeah, there's the question of will he show? I do think he's going to be there this time. I'm hoping he'll be there. That by now they would have said something.
That son of a bitch.
But at one point he wasn't able. At one point he couldn't compete because there was creative differences between AEW and Dragon Gate, so they figured that out. Then they didn't figure it out, and then they did figure it out. But so that's why he's going to be here now. Allegedly, they've all figured everything out now.
Oh, everything's cool. Oh yeah, because he takes wrestling really serious, right? He's like, I'm not going to lose if I'm the champ.
Right. He was the only person in wrestling gear during the press conference, the very first
press conference. I'm fucking real.
So now Pac is actually making, even though we've talked about him before, for All Elite Wrestling, this is actually going to be his in-ring debut for AEW, taking on Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega, who cut a promo for this match and spent 3/4 of it talking about Jon Moxley.
Yeah, I actually watched that. It was funny, but it almost seemed like it was too good to be true. Where all of a sudden, halfway through, they kicked the lights on, and he was like, they're like, oh, he's out, actually.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Seems like seems a little fishy.
Well, if you don't make
I'm gonna make a half-point bet here that Jon Moxley is gonna show up.
I'm gonna say if you don't make it, I'm making it.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking make that bet. All right, it only makes sense.
Right.
And it's a cute half-point bet.
How is it cute?
It was adorable, Phil.
There's a storyline. We're telling a story here at All Elite Wrestling.
There's no story with a staph infection.
A staph infection.
It's not a story. His elbow looks like a balloon right now, Phil.
Wow.
So, Timothy?
Yes, sir.
Pac versus Kenny Omega.
Oh, my gosh. Well, half point for me for John Moxley showing up. Is he still the champion of Dragon Gate?
I will check that as you are.
Yeah, because that's going to put a big play into whether or not he's going to go over here or not. But if it were me, if it were my company, and if I were an executive producer, I would put myself over against the guy that wouldn't do the job because he's the champion of a fake sport somewhere else, Phil. Oh, I'm sorry, predetermined. Phil.
Timothy.
Yeah.
Timothy.
Oh, my God. I'm going to get blacklisted from the internet. But the whole...
So he is no longer the champion.
And he's losing here tonight, too, Phil. That's what that's going to be. Kenny Omega. Omega Millionaire.
Great.
Right.
And I'm right there with you. Pac's not winning. It's Omega. Thank you for playing. Next.
Yeah. It
is that simple.
I just don't want him to win in spite of the bullshit that he did to this company. When they're trying to get themselves on their feet.
Right.
Ridiculous, Phil. Who do you guys have? Give us a call, 518-350-4312. Or write it down in the comments down here or up there or wherever. And let us know. And if you're watching us on Twitter at Timmy Zabriskie, make sure you comment with retweet us with who you think is going to go over this one too. All right, Phil.
Okay. Well, before I say anything about the next match, I'm going to say one other quick thing.
What's the other quick thing?
So every single wrestling pay-per-view since CM Punk left the WWE, I'm talking about WWE pay-per-views, Impact, Ring of Honor, AEW. The one name that keeps popping up is CM Punk.
Okay.
And of course, it's never happened, hasn't happened. Well, now CM Punk is going to be at StarCast.
Yeah.
That whole weekend. Well, on Saturday, he'll be there during the day.
Okay.
So, of course, now the buzz is, oh, he's already going to be there. He's going to be there for All Out, right? Like he's going to be there, right? He cuts a promo inside of a wrestling ring, allegedly from somewhere in Chicago.
It said Pro Wrestling Tees all over the turnbuckles.
Oh, I didn't even pay that much attention. So, yes, it must be in Chicago. Talking about how he's going to be there, then jokingly saying, well, sorry, breaking news, I can't be there, ha, 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 because everybody cancels at StarCast.
Yeah.
Which I was like, that's a blow, but funny at the same time. So, of course, the big rumor is CM Punk. So, do you want to say, Timothy, should we do an over? I almost feel like we should do an over-under, whether or not CM Punk will just, I'm not saying wrestle.
He's going to come out and like wave his hand or some shit?
Right. Make it some passing appearance at All Out. What is your percentage? I'm going to call it the Punk percentage, Tim.
All right. What is the Punk percentage?
I just like your belief whether or not Punk will be there. If you had to put a percentage on it, an over under. Hey, it's All Out. We're playing poker or blackjack or 22 or whatever the hell Jake Roberts wants to play. What is your percentage on the opportunity
of him showing up?
Of him showing up at All Out.
On
His
camera.
signing is
on
that
camera.
On camera.
On
not the back
camera
friends.
is what you're saying.
On camera.
Because he could very well be backstage doing nothing.
Right. So on camera, present and accounted for.
Now, when we say on camera, Phil, I want to make this very clear for everyone that's watching at home. All right? When we say on camera, do we mean like Matt Riddell showing up at NXT, standing in the audience with the camera full on him? Or do we mean Rory from the Highlanders at TNA just up in the crowd, sitting there, not trying to get noticed, but the camera kind of looks at him sort of deal?
However you want to best determine. I would say like that's like the third, that's like the 20%. Like, oh, he's like somewhere in the back of the crowd and they randomly pass a camera by him. Like that's at like the 20% level. The 40% level would be like, oh, he's in the front row and he like stands up and waves. The 60% is he's on the he comes out and does a little like wave on the actual entrance ring.
And the 80% would be like him coming out and giving the go to sleep to Jericho. to
maybe like
to relive that, to bring that back, right?
Right. He becomes more involved somehow in the story of the show, and 100% is the 100% to me would be that he runs down the aisle
and blows a guy.
Oh, dude!
How about the build-up? How about the build-up of that? That was hilarious. Runs down to the ring and blows a guy. That's drama. That is TNT. All right.
I guess a video packaged promo.
Oh my God, that would be like
30%, right? That way he doesn't even have to be in the crowd. Like, oh look, we're gonna film this thing of him being at Starcast, and then like they play it. I don't know. What do you think? Where you don't even have to give a percentage. Like, where do you think that falls, or does it fall?
I think that we need to get someone to take what you just said, and I might even do it myself tomorrow, like after I get out of work.
Get a slide ruler out. Get like the
I think that we need like a Venn diagram that says like what, like everything that you just described, where it's like 20% would be like, you know, like him doing the Rory deal where he's just sitting there, right, and everything like that. But honestly, I feel like these guys are so tongue-in-cheek with this sort of bullshit that I really feel that it's gonna be a someone's gonna do a fucking pro. I'm gonna go with this percentage, whatever you let me know, and I'm gonna describe the situation. All right. Someone's gonna be cutting a promo right next to the fucking bathroom, and then all of a sudden the door pops open and he just literally walks out and walks away. What percentage do you think that could be if he shows up here?
That's like a 25-30. Like, not involved, passing by, not as like, oh, shock, surprise, oh, look, he's in the back of the crowd. Like, so he knows he's there, but not really doing anything that changes the course of the program.
But enough to get that huge fucking buzz from everybody and him to get $20,000 or something. Right. Ridiculous.
Because you know the clickbait will be CM Punk makes AEW debut or AEW appearance.
Fucking blew a guy right in the middle of the ring. That's 100% that he's committed.
Timothy. No. Is that your half-point bet, Tim? Half-point bet.
Dude,
CMBJ.
I can't wait to rewatch that on the YouTube channel. How we just kind of came right.
You just saw me die on camera, like, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
The whole build-up of like him running down the aisle.
Yeah. Sammy Callahan doesn't take that.
Dude. I broke.
Bro,
I am broken right now. This is how broken I am right now. Oh my gosh. Does Sammy watch our show? Does he ever watch what we got? What we do here?
No, Sammy doesn't. Sammy is only awake for the hours of 3 p.m. to midnight. Like, no, he doesn't watch our show.
We're in the 3 p.m. to midnight demographic here.
I know, but he's too busy playing Fortnite or Apex or whatever else is on PlayStation.
Man. So you're just gonna describe to him that you're wearing his wrestling gear?
Oh, he'll find out soon enough.
Then he'll watch. Make sure he watches during this time.
You know what? When I get when there is the promo that is prepared for what's going to happen at Wrestling Revolver. By the way, follow Wrestling Revolver at PW Revolver. We will have a commercial spot of Pro Wrestling. I will pay for a commercial spot on the Tim Zabriskie show to air my promo.
Okay, yeah. We'll see you pay for anything in the next couple weeks. But
I bet you $10 I'm going to win this pay-per-view.
And you know what you can get for $10, Phil? It's a Tim Zabriskie show t-shirt.
I already have one, Tim, that you gave me.
Yeah, because I'm a sweetheart, Phil. But and guess who paid for the shipping on that?
Rosita.
$10, Phil. Tim Zabriskie show shirt. We'll ship them anywhere because you're paying for it. Not you, Phil, physically, but anybody that's going to order the shirt. Send me a direct message. We'll get one out to you.
I forgot to say I'm going to buy a Goku wig, too, to go with the jacket.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Then it will be Sammy Callahan.
Exactly.
Even though he is thinning a little bit, so he's going to be like this sooner than he thinks.
Ah. You guys got to get that Timmy Z hair that we got going on up here. It's not going away ever.
Right, the doll hair.
Yeah, basically. The nice girly hair that we got going on. All right, let's go to the main event.
Tim had work done. Nobody knows this.
You shut your mouth.
It's now time for the main event.
Ladies and gentlemen, this match will be for the All Elite Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship.
Phil, hold on. I want to try something. Hold on.
Okay.
Before you say the names, all right?
All right, I'm ready, Tim.
Hold on. Hold on.
Okay. I just used my cough button there because I didn't want people to hear me cough.
All right, go ahead.
You ready? In your main event for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, Adam Page takes on Chris Jericho, the inaugural World Heavyweight Championship.
All right, Phil, say that again because I fucking ruined it with that delay.
Oh, what the hell?
I thought it was good.
And Corey, yes, buy a shirt. I will take a picture with you at Revolver, and I will make all the frowning
Wow.
faces in the Sami Callihan jacket, making a Sami Callihan face and the lash symbol.
Corey, send me a direct message. We'll talk about the business. All right. So it's Chris Jericho and who?
Adam Page.
Adam Page.
Your favorite Hangman.
I think he's
money.
money.
Not a Hangman anymore.
He's gonna and this is for the first championship, right?
This is for the first championship. So back at Double or Nothing, Adam Page won a Battle Royal to be in this opportunity. Chris Jericho then had defeated Kenny Omega in the main event of Double or Nothing, setting up that he would be the opponent for Adam Page.
Right.
Following Page's match at Fight for the Fallen, Jericho attacked Page.
Okay.
And then later they established that this match, they would be one-on-one in a singles match for the AEW World Championship.
All right. So, yeah, man, I think that it's a classic case of the legend and the new uprising star. It's really back and forth. This is probably going to be the hardest decision, besides the people I don't know that's on the card, for who's actually going to go over, Phil. And here's why. We have someone like Jericho when we're starting a brand new television show that is going to definitely bring that name recognition, and having him with the belt is going to be great. Or we go with the future. We go with the new face that we need to develop new stars and everything like that. And this will be the first example with Hangman Page. So it really makes it difficult for me to figure it out. Now, what is your thought process before you make your decision on who this is going to go with?
Well, see, some of my thought process defaults back to,
Wrestling.
90% of the time, the Elite win. Adam Page is a member of the Elite. But you're absolutely right. Chris Jericho brings that name recognition value, that cross-entertainment platform value. People know who Chris Jericho is.
TNT knows who Chris Jericho is.
Right. And there is something to be gained by having your top face main event guy chasing after the top heel champion. There is a way you build that story to get people more interested in seeing Adam Page's struggle to go up against Dick Chris Jericho. I think there is value in it. There is money to be made in it. Having walking in the door, Adam Page, yay, everybody, come on, cheer me, yay, babyface, which is not what Adam Page does. Like, I'm oversimplifying it. But to then have Chris Jericho as the challenger, that's a different way to do that story. It's a little bit of a harder sell, just because, Chris Jericho's already there. He's already established. He's already going to be the top guy. Like, you're not helping Adam Page by making him run with that title at that point. It does work better the other way around. So, Tim, who do you got?
Oh, you son of a bitch. This is what I was trying to do. I was trying to put it on you.
Oh, I'll say it.
No.
I'll say it.
No, don't say it.
Okay.
Don't say it. I'm going to have to go with I'm gonna go with Jericho. All right. I think that it only makes sense for everything that we're saying with Jericho is gonna be back on TNT. It just makes sense. He's the only one coming from the original show to this show because it's basically Nitro Chapter 2. I mean,
it's TN Jericho.
Yeah, him and Tony Schiavone, right? Tony Schiavone was on the last Nitro, and he's gonna be on the first All Elite Wrestling. Do they have like a show name, or is it just All Elite Wrestling? Is that just what
I think right now? I think they're just calling it AEW on TNT. That's also their Twitter name.
Yeah, it's just All right, whatever. But I digress. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Jericho on this one for the whole reasons of him coming out, cutting the promo, and everything like that. But at the same time, with what we're saying here, it's hard because everything that we said before in the episode about the Elite and them booking themselves to win and everything like that, Jericho is not that guy because Jericho's a lot smarter than that because he sees bigger pictures. You know what I mean?
Right.
He doesn't just see the instant gratification and everything like that. So, Phil, that being said, I'm going with Jericho. Who do you have?
I am also going to go Jericho.
Wow.
I think it's so much more difficult to go the opposite direction. To have Paige walk out with that championship. I think there is that name value recognition. To have him as the champion just says that much more for what I think they should be doing right now. I want to look up one thing super quickly.
Absolutely.
As I'm trying to stall for time. AEW. Because again, as I have a brilliant idea that I want to peruse, I close out all my windows, so I can't look up the thing I wanted to look up. They have not announced the next pay-per-view styled event. Right now their focus after this is they're going on into television in October. And if you think about that, that's a long time. Right now so tomorrow night on TNT, they are going to be airing a 1-hour special called Countdown to All Out at 10 p.m. on TNT. That will be out there. That is also serving as not just a promotion for the pay-per-view. It's also kind of serving as a promotion for, hey, and then in a month, come see All Elite on TNT. But at the same time, it's interesting. They're doing this far out. They're talking over a month away. Then they'll be on television. But they don't really have anything else going on right now. They're also talking about how, they're looking for more content and different content. So I would imagine a lot of things are going to be filmed during StarCast to do their YouTube series, so that way people can sort of keep up with what's happening. A lot of their guys have cut back on their own independent wrestling dates so they can focus on getting ready on All Elite Wrestling. That way they're not hurt for going into television.
Yeah, right.
So they're kind of at this moment of what are they going to do to get ready for a month-long gap between All Out and then.
Well, I think that it's they're going to do what you're saying here. It's still going to be a lot of promotional stuff. It's going to be a lot of showing up on NBA and MLB and things like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's going to be a lot.
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Exactly. You know what I mean? That the con zone as well, right? And so they're going to be doing a lot of that shenanigans stuff, and doing a lot of just promotional. You know what I mean? Maybe we'll even see Cody Rhodes on the Tonight Show. Could you imagine that? How
on Zone Wrestling.
Hi, Eddie.
What's up, gents? Hey, Eddie, good to see you.
Yeah. Eddie, you're at the end of the show. You missed out, all right?
You missed everything.
But don't worry, because it's going to be available to you right here on demand as soon as we get off the air, as well as the YouTube page, youtube.com/TimmyZ4674. Also on the Twitter, if you head up there to @TimmyZabriskie. And Eddie, don't you fear as well, because on your way to work and on your way home, you can listen to us where all podcasts are available. Phil, where can Eddie listen to this? And the rest of the Eddies that are in the world.
Listen to it everywhere great podcasts are found. Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts.
Spotify, Phil.
Thank you. Why do I always forget Spotify? iHeartRadio. Everywhere you can find podcasting.
Every single podcasting place that's around is where they can find it, Phil.
Yes, Tim. I'm promoting. I'm posting and tweeting and sharing. Still posting and sharing and tweeting.
I don't know what's going on, Phil, but it's something.
Did you just die, Tim? What happened?
I don't know what's going on.
Did you just hit a brick wall? Would you like some of my wine, Tim?
No,
did you like the wine?
The computer was just freaking out right there, but I think it's coming back. But that's okay because the show's over, Phil. All right, thank you, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for stopping by and saying what's up. Next time you see us, I fixed it. We'll do it again. Phil, what's the next pay-per-view? The next wrestling pay-per-view? I don't even know what it is.
The next pay-per-view would be for the WWE, and I cannot remember the name of the network.
I think it's Clash of the Champions, right?
You are right. You are correct. It is Clash of the Champions.
Clash of the Champions. We'll post when we'll do the show and all that. But until then, catch us outside. How about that?
September 15th, damn.
September 15th. Feel?